Alright, hi everybody. Happy early Friday morning. So today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to draw short fur for wildlife animals or, pets. I've been getting a lot of questions on how to do like short fur and curly fur. So this is going to be my first tutorial on fur. So today we're just going to do the short fur. Um, so a few of my materials. So I'm going to start off with this Caran d'Ache full blender. It's a colorless blender. It's basically just a wax pencil that I'm going to be, whenever I start off, I'm going to be putting this anywhere where I really want that white paper to shine for those white highlights. It doesn't have to be the Caran d'Ache brand. It could be, Prismacolor or Faber-Castell, whatever you want to use. I also have three types of erasers. I have a couple mono erasers. There we go, a couple mono erasers. This one is a round mono eraser, and this one is a square or a rectangle mono eraser. And then I also have a kneaded eraser. And then this is called a slice tool, and it's just like a plastic blade. And this is where the slice tool and the colorless blender really come into play. Because after I add a lot of my color, I just start swiping it across the page, and it'll give me a lot of those very fine white for, highlights and whiskers. I did use some washi tape. I just put it around. I'm making this is so that I have clean edges for my border. So those are my materials. The paper I'm using is a mixed media paper. This one is by Canson. So, but really, I mean, any kind of either mixed media paper or even like watercolor paper will work as well. So I'm not really going by a specific photograph or anything, being that this is just like a short first study. So I just kind of picked a few random colors, some brown colors. Um, so I'm using a mix of Caran d'Ache Luminance and Faber-Castell Polychromos. So my Caran d'Ache Luminance ones I'm using are going to be the Buff Titanium, the Sepia 10%, the Brown Ochre 10%, and the Black. So those are my Luminance pencils. And then my Polychromos ones are my Capit Mortem Violet, Light Yellow Ochre, and Brown Ochre. So those are my Polychromos. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my colorless blender. And so on this particular piece, I'm just going to cover the entire entire block with this colorless blender, because the majority of it I'm going to be just kind of scraping off with my slice tool to give those very fine details. So when you go in with the blender, you just kind of, it doesn't have to be perfect. I do like little circular motions. Okay, so that's for my blender. Okay, so depending on what your subject is, so for instance, I recently did a tiger. So what I like to do is I like to start from the darkest fur to the lightest. So for instance, in the tiger, I had, you know, the black stripes that led into some brown and gray fur, which then led into the yellow and orange and white fur. So I went from the darkest to the lightest. It just kind of depends on, you know, what you're comfortable with and what your subject is. So for this one, I'm just doing like some very light, kind of blonde, brown, darker brown fur. And what I'm gonna do is right here down the middle, I'm gonna kind of like make a part in the fur just to show how exactly fur direction plays into the realistic portraits. Okay, so let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and map out where my part is. So I'm just using this light, the sepia 10%, just to map out exactly where. Let's see here. Actually, we'll go ahead and do it from the corner over here. We'll just kind of map it out like that. There we go. Okay. So let's see. We're gonna go ahead and start with the lightest and work up to the darkest. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the Faber-Castell. This is the brown ochre. And really, I mean, you can, you know, you can do any colors you need. I was just practicing my furs, and it was like blues, reds, and pinks, you know, and it was just you know, so you don't have to stick with the normal colors. So okay, for this particular piece, this side of the fur is going to be kind of going upwards, up to the left, and then down here it's going to be going down to the left, and then on this side it's going to be more going down to the right. So whenever you do short fur, you want to make sure that you first have a sharp pencil. And you're going to start off heavy and you're going to flick your pencil out. And as you flick your pencil, you're going to be lifting up. So, for instance, okay, so right here. Okay, so in this area, I'm going to be going to the upper left. Yeah. Okay. So actually, we'll go ahead and start right here. So we're going to be going to the upper right. So we're going to start heavy and you're just going to flick up. And it really is just all about practice. Sometimes doing it from, you know, holding your pencil at an angle and, you know, flicking up helps. Sometimes, you know, going it, you know, head on helps. It really just depends on, you know, how you have your sketchbook and how you're positioned. So if you want darker fur, you'll just start off heavy and then flick up. Or if you want, you want lighter fur, medium fur, whatever you need. And for realism, the secret is all about layers. So, let's see. So we're going to be doing like several different pencil layers here. Okay, So we have that. So now we're going to go ahead and go in with a bit of a darker one. Let's see. Okay, we'll go ahead and I'm going to use the Capit Mortem Violet, the Polychromos. And we're just going to be doing the same thing, same fur direction. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I want to blend it out a little bit. So this is where the luminance pencils really come in. So the luminance are wax-based, whereas the polychromos are oil-based. So the luminance pencils will really blend out a lot of, you know, those previous pencils. So once I get, you know, a couple layers on, I like to go in with the luminance pencil. So this luminance is the brown ochre 10%. So I'm just going, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm just going on top of the other layers and I'm just doing those flicking motions in the same direction as the other layers. Okay, so I started blending that out. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back in with the Capit Mortem Violet. Sorry, Capit. Oh my goodness, Capit Mortem Violet. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my slice tool. And this is, we're just going to be using the pointed piece, and we're just going to be like just swiping it across the page. And as we swipe, it'll take off, you know, some of that pencil and leave white highlights behind. And then, so just another tip, I like to go in with just a makeup brush, and it helps get all the excess pencil shavings off so that you're not smearing your page. Okay, so there we have a pretty good base for this side. We're going to go ahead and switch over to this side now. So this side, it's going to be a different direction. So instead of this went this way, this side is going to be going up and then down. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and go in with, we're going to go back to the brown ochre again. Okay, so let's see. And we're just doing the same thing. We're just doing those flicking motions, but this time in this direction we were going this way. This time we're gonna be going this way to the top left. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with that, with the Caput Mortem Violet on this side, and we're just gonna do the same thing. Okay, so now I'm going to go in again with my Luminance Brown Ochre 10%, and we're just going to blend out this area. So again, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be doing the flicking directions in to the upper left. Oh, there we go. I'm able to zoom in a little bit. Hopefully that's a little bit easier for everybody to see. Okay, so it's blended out pretty good now. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with the Caput Mortem Violet. We're just gonna be doing the same thing. Okay, I'm just going back in with that Brown Ochre 10% Luminance and just blending out this a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my slice tool. And I'm going to do like what I did over here. I'm just going to scrape it across the paper in the direction, in the top, to the top left direction. So I can, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with my black. I have the black Luminance pencil, and I'm just going to start making some of my darker on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and just start doing some of the darker fur. And again, it's just going to be the same thing. You're just doing the light flickering pencil strokes. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with a sepia 10% luminance. And I'm just going to kind of blend out this a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Buff Titanium Luminance. And just kind of do a little bit more blending on this over here. Mainly in more of the lighter fur color, or fur areas. Okay, let's see. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and go back in with my Caput Mortem Violet Luminance and just kind of go over a little bit more. Like I said earlier, the secret to realism is is patience, but also it's just layers of pencils. And the more that you build up, the more, texture it has, the more highlights and shadows it has, and so that's really the secret to realism. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with my slice tool again. Alright, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the light yellow ochre polychromos and just add a little bit more of those kind of lighter fur areas just to kind of blend it out a little bit better. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a break from this side. We're gonna go back to over here. And I'm gonna go in with my black luminance and just add a few of the darker fur areas. we're doing the same thing, just that flicking motion. And this way, this side of the fur is going up to the top left, so that's the direction that we're going to flick our pencil in. And really, you don't need really high-end pencils to do realism. Um, I started off with Crayola, and believe it or not, Crayola can actually give you some pretty good results. But it's just all about, the layering of the pencils and the blending. So, but I started with Crayola, and then I went up to Prismacolor, and then I got my first set of Polychromos, and then Luminance. I do also have like some Derwent drawing. I have some of the Museum Aquarelle. Those are really good to add highlights to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Sepia 10% Luminance and just blend out that black a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with my Caput Mortem Violet and just go over the darker areas again. And we're doing the same thing. We're just doing the flicking motion where we're going to start off heavy and then just flick up on our pencil. And as we flick up, we're going to we're picking up our pencil so it makes a lighter pencil stroke towards towards the ends. So let's see. Okay, so now I want to blend this out a lot more because as you can tell, this one's a little bit more softer than this side. So we want to blend that side out a bit more. So I'm going to go in with my Buff Titanium Luminance pencil. Alright. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the light yellow ochre Polychromos. Okay, I'm going to go back in with my black luminance. Just touch up some of those darker areas again. Alright, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with my Buff Titanium, Luminance pencil. Just try to blend this out a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my slice tool. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with the Caput Mortem Violet and just kind of make some more, make that darker fur a little bit more precise. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back in with my brown ochre luminance. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go back in with my slice tool again. Alright, I'm going to go back in with my black luminance. Okay, and then back in with my Caput Mortem Violet Faber-Castell. Alright, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Buff Titanium Luminance pencil. Let's see. And just kind of try to blend that out a little bit more. Okay, I went back in with the black a little bit. Let's see. For some reason, this side looks a lot more softer and smoother than the other side. Let's see. I'm gonna go in with the Luminance Brown Ochre 10% again. Just see if I can't blend some of this out a little bit more. Okay, that looks a little bit more blended. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to this side. So on this side, we had it going to the right. On this side, we had it going to the left. So this one, let's see. Okay, I'll actually show everybody how, another direction of the fur. So, let's see. So we're gonna go in with the brown ochre luminance pencil, and for this one we're just gonna go up. So on this side we're gonna go up and a little bit off to the right, and then this side will go up and a little bit off to the left. So again, we're just doing the same thing. We're just doing the flicking motions with our pencils, starting off heavy, and then as you flick up, you just let off the pencil. Alright, I'm going to go in with the Caput Mortem Violet again. And then, let's see, I'm going to go in with, let's see, you know what, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of the Luminance Black. And we're just doing the same thing. We're just, doing the flicking motions with our pencils. So I'm going to go ahead and blend that out a bit. So I'm going to go in with the brown ochre 10%. Okay. I'm going to go in with my slice tool now and just add a few of those white highlights before we add more color. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of that Caput Mortem Violet up here, just to give it a little bit more of the darker fur. And again, we're just doing the same pencil strokes. We're going in the upper right direction. And as we go, we're starting off heavy. We're starting off heavy, and then as we flick our pencil up, we're lifting off the pencil so it makes more of a lighter stroke towards the end. Okay. So I'm gonna go back in now with the brown ochre luminance pencil. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this side for the moment. I'm gonna go back over here. I think it's this blending piece right here that I'm not too happy with. Let's see. So I'm going back in with my slice tool just to see if I can't take some of that color and let's see. And this is just an old makeup, or not old, but this is a makeup brush. It just makes it easier to move the pencil shavings off the page so that you don't smear anything on your drawing. Okay, let's see here. Okay. So I'm going back in with the Caput Mortem Violet Polychromos. Okay, so another way to do the highlight, so I've been using the slice tool, but another way is actually by using an eraser. So I have two mono erasers right here. One is a circular eraser, if I can get that, and then the other one is a rectangle eraser. So it works just like it's the elimination process. So I'm gonna go in with my circular one, and you're gonna use it just like you would a pencil. You're just gonna flick it across the page, and as you do, it'll add more highlights, and also kind of blend out the pencil a little bit too. Okay, that's a little bit more blended out. Okay, and as you can see right here in the middle, I know I had two different directions going, and this kind of, I tried to blend it out a little bit wherever the fur directions meet. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back in with, let's see, I'm gonna go back in with my Caput Mortem Violet Polychromos, and just try to blend out this part a little bit more. So, and we're just doing the same thing, just those small uh, pencil flicking motions. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take a break from that for a moment. And let's see, we're gonna go ahead and work on this side a bit. Again, it's just the same thing. With the pencil strokes, we're just going in the upper left this time. And I'm going in with the brown ochre polychromos. Okay, I'm going in with the Caput Mortem Violet again. Oops. So yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna go back in with the brown ochre. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with my brown ochre 10% luminance. And just doing the same thing, just doing those short pencil flicks across the page to blend it out. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of black luminance. All right, let's see. Okay, now I'm gonna use the sepia 10% luminance and just to blend out some of these pencil markings. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna go back in with the Caput Mortem Violet Luminance. Alright, I'm gonna go in with my slice tool again. Okay, so yeah, you can see, so like the part for the animal would be like right here, and you can see which, the direction that the fur is going. Let's see. I'm pretty happy with this so far. I think I can blend out up here a little bit more. But really, I mean, the main thing for realism with colored pencil is just the amount of layers and a lot of patience. I mean, for this piece, this is a little, I mean, it's probably a 4-inch by 3-inch little rectangle. And I used 6. I used 7 different pencils. And I mean, I probably did about, oh gosh. I mean, I probably did about 3 layers of each pencil for each, each part. Um, but let's see. And then just a little, tip if you are using the browns, if you want to get more of a brown fur. So I actually almost made this mistake earlier. So like I used the light yellow ochre polychromos, and then I was going in with the luminance black. If I had kept going with that, it would have actually turned it more of a green color. And so, whoops. Um, and that is, definitely don't want green fur unless you're purposely going for green fur. So let's see here. Actually, I think I'm pretty happy with this now. I might do a little bit more with the slice tool. Okay, so actually I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll go ahead and take off the washi tape now. Oops. Alright. Alright, there we go. Okay, So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this. So just to kind of recap, I just went in with a colorless blender. It's wax based, so that's how I was able to use my slice tool, to get those very fine, fine white details. Um, and then I also, to get some of those highlights, I used my mono erasers. I have a round one and a rectangle one. And then I also have my little makeup brush just to get all the extra pieces away. I had used, some washi tape. That's how I got my clean border. And then I just used seven pencils divided up between my luminance and my polychromos. But really, I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of pencils you use. I mean, you could even do this with Crayola. Um, I started off with going from light to dark. You can go dark to light. It's really whatever your preference is and um, whatever your subject is too. So, but thank you so much for everybody who joined this evening / early morning. I really, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this and want to see more realism animal tutorials, please hit that subscribe button. And I hope everyone has a great Friday morning.